Ation Outside the Box. Hey, listen, I had a chance to interview two amazing people who've been around a while, who've watched the world evolve, watched the country evolve from their own inner city streets of Watts, Compton, Linwood, and Los Angeles to what it is now. And they have taken a moment to set aside with me and share their life and what their experiences are and to watch the state of the country and where it's gone. Until here's part one of Outside the Box, the interview. Hey, what's going on? Ation Outside the Box. You know what we do and why we do it. Let's go. I got two wonderful, amazing people here with me today, and I thought I'd share them with you since I had them all to myself for a very long time in my life. So I appreciate them for coming out. And again, as I always say, like, subscribe, share, put your comments in the comment section, be a part of the team Outside the Box. And hopefully, as you guys always know, we come differently here. We're always outside the norm. We speak differently, we talk differently, we digest things differently. So I present to you the two people who most influenced my life, my childhood, and me being the man that I've become. And it is my parents, Mr. Horace Aubrey and Mrs. LaJuan Aubrey, my parents. Say hello to everybody, guys.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Hey, so I just had this funny urge to get them out here and just kind of run a couple of things by them and see what their thoughts were about the current state of the country, our lives, what we're seeing going on around us. I know they come from a different time. They're both inner city kids that came up in the inner city on the mean streets. and they came through, managed to get through and raise four amazing children. And now we're all adults. And it's just interesting to look through the eyes of some people who've done this before and know what it's like and has seen some things, experienced some things, saw what it looked like for their generation, for Black people, America at large when they were younger, and to watch America flourish and grow. So I want to give them a chance to kind of talk. So first thing is, I just thought I'd ask you guys, what do you guys think about what you see going on around you right now in the country, United States of America?
Well, it's a combination for me. It's a combination of things that make me sad to see how things have degenerated over the past months.
Yeah.
It's been a trend that's been going on now for many years, and sitting back and as aware and sensitive as I am, I've seen things declining. But, you know, when it's not right close to home as it is right now, you know, you tend to just say, oh, I'll pray about it or whatever, but now it's really close to home. And it's hard for me because I know that my grandchildren have to come up in this environment.
Yeah.
And so, and because I'm not always with my grandchildren, I just have to, from afar, pray for them and just hope and pray that, you know, they're not influenced on a great degree by what's going on. And it's really hard for me to see this and to know that they're exposed to that and they don't have the same privileges out and about as we had. You know, we had the peace and, you know, there were things going on, but like I said, it wasn't as close to home as it is right now. So my biggest weapon, my biggest tool that I have is just to pray for my grandchildren and hope and pray that the children that I brought up will be an influence in their lives as much. And, you know, so it's real sad for me, but in the same time, I have hope, and not just that I'm hoping things will get better, but I have hope, and I know that God is in control. So,
you said something. Before I go to Pop and Dad, I'll let you go ahead and go. But I'm gonna come back to something that you said a few minutes ago. You said we didn't have to grow up in this, because a lot of people would probably beg to differ with you on that. They'd be like, nah, it was worse, you know. So, but what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
Basically, my upbringing and stuff like that compared to what's going on now, I came from my household of 7 brothers, no sisters, and originally coming in from the South, born in Louisiana, raised in California. I've seen, in my 60-odd years, I've seen quite a few things, changes and stuff like that, you know, your riots, your first riots and all this kind of stuff, you know, the gang banging and stuff like that that took place, started in 1972, 1970, and it wasn't like that prior to. It was fun being alive and growing up and, you know, having things to do every day. We didn't have the computer system the kids have now. We made our own activities, you know. Union 5 skate, which you put on your shoe with a skate key and all that kind of stuff, you know. We just had some things that we did that was satisfying to us as family, and the families was close knit, you know. I remember my mom cooked every day. We had a home cooked meal every day. It wasn't about McDonald's, it wasn't about Burger King and all that kind of stuff, you know. That was a treat. If we did this on the weekend, Mom didn't feel like cooking on a Friday or Saturday, we would go out and get something like that, you know. But other than that, the stuff that's going on now is actually sickening, you know. And I believe, like you say, well, Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Okay, all lives matter as far as I'm concerned. Not just black lives, not white, not Asian. You know, all lives matter to me. And the thing is, it's an opportunity. You protest in the daytime, steal, kill, and loot in nighttime. I say, what is this about? You know, how can this be helpful to anybody, you know, to the kids that's growing up now? They saying this kind of stuff, you know. I said, how can this be beneficial to them? You know, it's not really, you know. They see the stuff and they don't know what's going on. They can't go to school. They got to have homeschool. You know, they can't go out to various parks and playgrounds and stuff. They can't participate in sports, which we all grew up in, you know.
Yeah.
I coached basketball, high school for 22 years, you know. So I know how the kids must be feeling. They used to, you know, when they couldn't get in the gym or something, you know, they'd be outside mad, but now they can't go at all.
Right.
You know, so it's just it's a crazy time, and I think basically, if we need God, we need Him more right now than any time in our lives.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You said something, and I want you guys to just go ahead and vent. You know, in terms of like conversation. You know, go ahead and conversate. You know, this is no different than us sitting around the table talking about the things we see going on all the time when we get together. And I love my time with you guys because when I get a chance to sit down with you guys, as old as I am now, I'm older now. I'm the oldest of 4 of your kids, and was sort of like, you know, most firstborns are the trailblazers of the family. You know, have to try to hold up their end of the bargain. But one thing is I got from you guys, before we get back to what I said, I'm gonna talk to you about your childhood being fun or feeling like you didn't have to deal with this stuff, where some people would beg to differ. I also want to get to something that you said first. They say that right now that the whole protesting thing and the rioting thing, that's something that happened when Martin Luther King was around, what he was fighting for. And the reason why, and they're using his words even saying that the riot is the voice of the oppressed or something like that. How do you see that? Because they're saying that these people feel they're oppressed, so that's why they're doing the things that they're doing. Same reason why they was doing it when Martin Luther King was alive, right? Do you agree with that?
No, not to a certain extent. I think Martin Luther King protest was peaceful and nonviolent. That's what he taught, nonviolent.
Yeah.
He didn't teach what's going on now is just the opposite. Like I said, you're protesting in the daytime, but you're doing crazy stuff at night. You're burning up stores, you're breaking in stores, you're stealing, and you're killing people, you know. Not just blacks is killing whites and whoever, you know, they feel like they want to kill. So it's not like Martin Luther King protest at all to me.
Yeah.
And I've seen his.
Now, what about you? Do you even believe that we're fighting for the same thing that we were fighting for back then?
Well, it's taken on. I think oppression has always been here, but it's taken on a new face, and it's taken on a face in within rebellion. You know, there's these big formats. And there's these big agendas right now. But what's happening is back in the day when when you know, I would see it on television and I would hear about it, but it's the expression of it that is so troubling. You know, there's a way to handle everything, but we've gotten away from that. And the reason why I say this is because when I was a kid, you know, our dad didn't, you know, sit up and teach us about all the things that we were seeing on television and the things that we were seeing people do and how they expressed it. But we had limitations in our household. We had things that we had to submit to under my father and under, you know, and the way we behave. So when we
House
lived-
rules, right?
Yeah, house rules.
House rules.
And of course, you know, there were some things we thought were more harsh, but we were more submissive, more submitted. Nowadays, the children know more than the parents. They don't submit to what the parents are saying. They don't submit to authority. And it's everywhere. It's on in television.
You're going down that rabbit hole. That's what I'm talking about.
It's in the music and the videos. It's stuff that like I said, I saw it coming, but when I saw the decline, but it wasn't as close to home as it is right now. It wasn't around the corner or down the street or in everything you speak about when you say what you trust in, what you believe in. So now it's more or less like a threat. So when the oppressed and the people that are feel like they have been not able to express what they're feeling, it's just out of control. So what we learned in the household was that we speak when we're spoken to, and we weren't able to say what we wanted to say all the time, and there were limitations in the household. We learned that as children.
There were boundaries.
Yeah, we had boundaries.
Yeah.
But now it's no boundaries anymore because the parents and the kids are looking so much like each other.
Right.
And the rebellion is allowed, and they're allowed to say anything they want to say. What they hear in the household, what they are able to speak in the household, the way they're able to talk back and be rebellious in the household plays a big part in what they do when they're outside of the household.
So there you have it. That's just part one. As I said, stay tuned. Part 2 and 3 and whatever be coming your way soon. As you know by now, two people have heavily impacted my life. Horace and LaJuan Aubrey. Very powerful influences in my life, and also has had an opportunity to speak into the lives of many other kids from the inner city, black families, white families, Hispanic families, all alike. And I wanted you to have a chance to hear from them. That's just part 1. Be sure to stay tuned for part 2 coming your way very soon. Outside the Box. Ation, like, subscribe, and share as I sign off.